January flew by. I didn't realize we were already at the end of the month. And if you have duly followed this channel, you know that I started a new series that's called the Monthly Geek Haul. And so it's that time of the month again where I'll show you all the good stuff that I bought during this last month. This month has been very intense and we've had to do a lot of stuff to prepare for April because we're actually expecting a child. And so in that spirit, and given that the start of the month was not really so great for me, my wife decided to get me something as a little pick-me-up. And so she got me this book, To You, the Future Daddy Geek. It's basically some parental advice, but with a geek spin on it. You got some flow charts with a lot of geeky humor in that. I haven't read it yet, but I took some peeks on some of the pages, and this is gonna be a fun read before the birth of my son, and especially for me because I'm a huge geek myself, and I'm pretty much every day geeking about some subject, some random subject that nobody has ever seen coming, so that's gonna be a fun one. And in addition to that book, she also got me some guitar picks. Now, the geeky thing about those guitar picks is that I used to play the guitar a lot back when I was younger, and it's definitely something that I fell off of, even though my guitar is just right here next to my desk. And so she's trying to encourage me to pick the guitar back up. So those guitar picks are based on Japan. So you get some very cool Japan design, but that camera is not autofocus, so I'm gonna have to manually adjust for you to see those picks. You get the first one. Here you get a bit of Mount Fuji. Here you get a Torii Gate, the one that is in the sea. I don't know the name, but that's a famous one actually. Here another Japanese landmark. That's a famous huge castle. I can't remember the name as well, but it's a very huge landmark and a very known one. And last but not least, you have the Great Wave of Okusai. And that Great Wave, actually, if you follow the channel, you know that I like that special piece of art because I have it on my wall just right here, and I also have it as my desk mat on my desk. Anyway, very cool guitar picks, and also it came with a little pouch here that you can actually put on your keychain, and then you can just put a pick in that. So you always have one with you. You never know when your friends are gonna ask you to jam with them, right? And God, do I know that some of my friends are that kind of people. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Robin. The next thing we bought is actually to keep up with our manga collection, and that's the 5th volume of Sexy Cosplay Doll. We discovered this with the anime, and of course it was a critical success, and the story was so heartwarming that we decided to pick up the manga as well. And so we're at the 5th volume, and I haven't caught up with the manga yet because actually the anime already goes further than that, so I still have to read those, and actually I have to read a lot of my mangas because I have a huge manga collection and I have barely read them. I'm just sad that actually the 8th volume of Sexy Cosplay Doll had a collector's edition, and I didn't pick it up in time, so now it's unavailable everywhere. Feels bad, but hey. We bought the 5th tome this month, so that's at the very least cool. And speaking of collector's edition, we actually picked this month the 11th volume of Spy Family in collector's edition. So that's the kind of TV thing right here, and there is actually a lot included in this very little box. First, of course, you got this box that is TV shaped. Of course, Anya being a huge fan of anime as well, it makes sense that this is a TV. You even got the antenna here above. You got Bond on the side. You have the side of the TV with her little plushie doll, and you also have, and I find this very cool, a very cute illustration here at the back. But that's not just all there is to it, because that is a hefty box, but there is like so much packed in it, as I said, and some of it I'm never gonna put back in the box because quite frankly this wouldn't fit anymore. But the things that we would still fit in the box are actually those very sick markers for when you read your mangas. These have manga panels on them. I'm not looking at those, I just glanced over them and I'm not gonna look into detail because I don't want to spoil myself. And on the other side, you have all the characters, sort of. Well, all the main ones, actually. You got Fiona Frost, you got Lloyd when he was a kid, Anya, Yor, Bond, you have Damian, Becky, Yuri, and what's his name again? I forgot. Anyway, cool markers, and you got a ton of them. You also have a lot of lithography with that, and those are, I think, are very cute. So you get Anya here. You also get Anya with Bond in a spy outfit. You got Yor lying in a bed of roses. You get Anya at the beach with her family. You have sort of a Chinese New Year Anya with Bond as a tiger. You get a very cute Yor and Lloyd drinking wine together. A little bit of Eden with Damian playing football with his friends. Again, a very cute scene of Anya playing with Lloyd. And you get Anya in a little sailor outfit with a straw hat as well. And you also have a very special one here with Foursquare that you actually can fold in order to change what's displayed on the TV. So here you have Bondman. If I turn this around, you're gonna have Anya. And then if I just fold this at the top here, that's just this image that's gonna go there. And same goes with the other way around. So that's a very nice touch, a very nice gimmick. Of course, in this you're gonna have the 11th volume of the Spy Family, and this includes the alternate jackets. So you basically have the two model of jackets. So that's the one you're seeing right here with Anya at the front and Bond at the back. That's the alternate version of the cover, and the regular one is actually Damian's friends looking at each other. And not only do you get the 11th volume, you also have a light novel with that family portrait, and that's a little side story in the universe of Spy Family. That is a very cool touch. And one of the weirdest items that you have in this collector's edition is actually an anagram filter. What is an anagram filter? Well, it's basically this little thing here with just Anya doing a weird face with an Instagram sort of frame around it. How do I look? Does this fit? I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's just like... Maybe that way? That way is better? Is it funny? Is it cool? I'm not sure. There's a lot of reflection happening on this filter if I do it myself with the camera, so yeah. But perhaps the two best item of this collector's edition is actually this book stop, which I haven't opened yet, so let's just do that. I had folded it already though, and you have like Yor and Lloyd on the cover here with the Spy Family mention. You got the logo here at the bottom. And I mean, if you're buying mangas, you're obviously into books, so you're gonna need this at some point. So that's a very nice touch that they've added to this collector's edition. And finally, the last and biggest piece of this collector's edition is actually a tote bag. And you have the same design back and front, so that's just Lloyd in his car with Yor and Anya on the side. It's not that very big.
That's what she said!
I mean, it's not that big of a tote bag, but I mean, it's still a decent size. And I find actually surprising that they just even had the idea of putting a tote bag in a collector's edition for a manga, but more so that they managed to fit it in the box as well. Because that sure ain't getting back into the box now. While we were buying mangas, the last one that I actually picked for myself is Partner 2.0. When this started getting a serialization, I saw the cover and I was very intrigued by the story. It's a very mature one, so be warned. It's got a 16+ rating here in Europe, so that's not for kids, of course. And even though there are very lewd passages in this, there are also a story that is very heartwarming behind that. And we basically follow those two characters here at the front. They have both broke up with their partners not long ago, and they were actually gaming buddies. And so they kind of hooked up at one of their guilds meeting, and they figure out that they actually shared some views on the world and relationship, mainly that they were in toxic relationship and they don't want any of that anymore. So they just hook up, but they're friends with benefits and they don't want to like bury themselves back in someone else's expectations, and that kind of goes off from there. Anyway, the story was very interesting and I really liked it, so since the 4th volume was out, I figured I'd pick it up. And the last geeky thing that I bought this month was actually a video game. It's Tekken 8. And I cannot show it to you because even though I do own a PS5, I don't want to spend money to be able to play online. My computer is totally capable of running Tekken 8, full graphics and full frames and all that jazz. So I took it on Steam, especially because I got the deluxe edition, which included the first season pass, for the price of the regular version. That's a huge plus in my book. And if there are any of you wondering, yes, I am playing using this controller right here that I bought last month. This wouldn't have been compatible with a PS5, but this is compatible with my computer. So not only can I play online for free by playing on Steam, I also can play with this controller. There's only advantages now. And I really do have to say, Tekken 8 is just a fabulous game. Of course, nostalgia has a huge factor in this. I've played Tekken since Tekken 2 when I was a kid. I used to train in Tekken 2 with my brother to be able to throw out the 10-hit combos of Kazuya when I wanted. Tekken 3, when it comes out, we always used to play with my cousins whenever we saw each other. At the time of the PS2, I didn't really have one, so Tekken 4 I had not that much experience with, but Tekken 5, when it got out on the PlayStation Portable, which I had, that was the Dark Resurrection version, I totally like played the hell out of that game. Used to play with friends because you could play locally in LAN back in the day, and so we would both had a PSP and Tekken 5 on the console, and we would just duke it out whenever we got the chance. Tekken 6, my wife offered me the collector's edition with the arcade stick, and I bought myself the one with the sweatshirt, and I also picked Tekken 7 on Steam when I got the chance, so it was a kind of a no-brainer for me that I would buy Tekken 8. And let me tell you that the game feels incredible to play. It is very smooth, it is very beautiful, the game system is awesome. You get a cute arcade mode where you get some chibi characters. It's kind of like a career mode in FIFA and stuff like that, where you go to tournaments and you try to be the best that you can, but at the same time, that arcade mode, that's kind of arcade quest stories, is also teaching you how to play the game, so that's perfect for newcomers. You get, of course, the scenario of the game, the main one, that is the big plots, big plot twists and all that, which I haven't got around to, and the training mode is better than ever. If you want to like really hardcore train a character or some stuff, you can now with what they've added to the training mode, and that's just the perfect game. Also, it's got rollback, so that's very good. Now, I obviously don't know what the next month is gonna be about with what I will buy, but if you're interested in what I bought last month, you can check it out here.